Good morning to all my brothers and sisters out there. And I hope you don't woke up and you done prayed because you're going to need the prayer once I finish this conversation. I want everybody to step back and relax and listen to what I got to say. Do y'all know what a psychological warfare is? Do you know there is a psychological warfare used against the American peoples every day? For you military, you should know what psychological warfare and what it's designed to do. It is designed to weaken opponents confidence, morale, decision making, or will to resist. This is what the Trump administration is using psychological warfare against the American people. They use propaganda against an enemy. They lie and they cheat anything to weaken a person's morale. So you understand, please understand what is a psychological warfare and what it is designed to do, intended to demoralize the enemy and break their will to fight or make them favorable disposed to one position. Is this what we're dealing with? Is this what the main objective that we are dealing with today? And you are in denial that we are in a psychological warfare. They include action meant to evoke a planned psychological reaction. Is the target audience, the government, the group, or an individual? A psychological warfare is meant to inflict fear on people, race, religion, sex, and national origin. This is the kind of world that we are living in. A psychological warfare aim. Remember this. They aims at the body. The mind, not the body. Because if I can work with your mind, I can work with you. If I can use psychological tactic on you to put fear in you, to make you afraid of me, make you surrender, I got you controlled. I may not have to do anything to you, but if I scare you enough, just like the polices do, they walk around here and use psychological warfare to inflict fear on these immigrants, the migrant, the black, the white, anything of none is not white. They try to inflict fear on you. We dealing with a racist society, and all you got to do is sit back, put your guns down, and let's talk. And some of the common tactics they use during the psychological warfare, these tactics shows up. Main thing is propaganda. Do you know what the word propaganda? Rumors and propaganda. They lie about everything just to get in the mind of those who believe in them. And when you understand propaganda, that being able to control the media, the people only want to listen to them, and they're going to put themselves up on a pedestal. This is the psychological warfare against the American people. And it's propaganda. What they do, they spread messages to shape beliefs or emotion. Is this what the Trump administration doing? Is they selling you whatever? You know it's not true. You know it's not true. This exactly the objective of this propaganda. Example, let me give you some, these radio broadcasts into enemy territory to make soldiers feel hopeless. This psychological warfare, we understand that if you've been in the military, and what the objective is to use is to put fear in your enemy. This is what America is dealing with, fear among American people. We never had this in the history of our country, but it's time to talk up. We cannot allow the psychological warfare to make us a third class country. People, as soon as I finish completing and give you a clear understanding what is a psychological warfare is, and when I say part of this psychological warfare is disinformation and misinformation. This is what the administration is doing to the American people. Disinformation and misinformation is planting false stories to confuse or divide people. Is this what's happening, people? Is this what's happening? They plan story just confuse people. They lies about everything just to convince you that they are the perfect people and the enemy is the one that's doing all the damage. Is this what the Trump campaign is doing? I'm just giving you example as we go along. You know, when I say about the radio broadcasts into enemy territory to make so, we use that during the military. If we can make you surrender and make you give up before we kill you, that's the part of the objective. The main thing, we want to work with the mind, not the body. If I can control the mind, the body will rest along with it. So when you understand this information, you know, I mean, this is just false, and it just want to divide people's up. The modern versions of social media campaigns to influence public opinion. This is what this is all about. Everything that I'm talking about, all you got to do is open your eyes up, open your mind up, and understand, why am I doing this? You know, what I say, fear and intimidation. Why do you think that they're using these ISIS and using our military against us? This is want to be an authoritarian type of ruler. This is the mind of a mental ill person. Are we going to accept this? Are we going to reject it? Are we going to deny it? Are we going to accept it? I'm tired of seeing people suffer under the hands of this new administration. We are suffering more than any president in this country. This man is about do as I say, not as I do. That's an authoritarian type of mindset. When I say fear and intimidation, they use threats, they use rumors, or displaying overwhelming forces. Is this what you're seeing in all these minority countries, all these black neighborhoods? If I can control the blacks, if I can control their mind, I put fear in. Y'all understand what I'm saying? A psychological warfare is right here in front of us. And we are allowing this racist administration to put us down. Not only black, they putting America down. You got 4 people pretty much controlling this country. Pam Bondi, and then you have the DHS, then you got Kat Patel, and then you got, what's this guy named? I don't know his name, and I don't headset. These people is not able to make decisions. They only going to make decisions after they talk to their God, which is President Trump. Do as I say, boy, not as I do. If you don't follow the rule and go along with the game and protect me, I don't need you under. I need you to sign his a loyalty statement. You cannot work under authoritarian leader unless you do what he say. You know, when I'm saying to you, they use examples like Gene Karma spread rumors of a massive army to make cities surrender without fighting. Is that what he's doing? Is he passing out all these threats to Greenland, Venezuela, all these dark countries, the one that got the money? But most people are blind behind this one man. They don't understand. This man is not working for America. This man is working for himself and his billionaire. Billionaires is the one that's causing this issue. Accepted or rejected. All these money, that all these deals that have been made, where's the money going to? Have you ever thought about that? Why did you keep paying more if he's trying to cut taxes? People, are you blind or are you delusional? Look at what is being said and look at the action behind it. I think we all American. I think we smart enough to hear that. You know, I mean, leaflets and messaging. This is what the propaganda warfare deal with. Dropping leaflets and encouraging surrender or undermining enemy leadership. That's try to use power and intimidation. This is what President Trump is doing to all of these poor countries. If we can get in there and take your oil, and it will continue to increase prices among our American people, but we're going to keep them blind like we doing so much for the American people. Just sit back and watch. The billionaires are getting rich. Take it or leave it. We're dealing with a psychological warfare in the United States. Example, the U.S. official discussed dropping leaflets over cannabis as a psychological pressure. You know what he did? Doing Venezuela. He kept telling them, I'm going to take the oil, but he got the American people convinced it's about bringing drugs in the United States. This is the mindset of an authoritarian leader, is that you must believe me because I'm the president of the United States, and not realizing that we are dealing with one of the most dangerous enemies in this country. But we supposed to be American. We are allowing him to use a form of intimidation, a form of propaganda on his enemy, so-called enemy, America. Are we going to wake up? Are we going to continue to go to sleep and deny that we are dealing with a vicious enemy? But when I finish saying what I have to say, don't be surprised what I'm going to say next. And when I say manipulations of identity or belief, they know how to manipulate the people's mind. Oh, we getting all the Mexican out of this country. Anything that brown, we're going to get them. But we are not prejudiced. We're not prejudiced. We're going by what the law say. People are, if you believe what is coming out of the administration mouth, you are delusional. I understand that you can be a MAGA. I understand you can be a Democratic. I can, whatever, regardless of your race, sex. If that's your belief, that this administration is making America great again, you are delusional. If you are thinking that this administration is going to make you rich, you are delusional. Look where all your money, what was all the promises that he gave? How many of those promises after a year that you see real? I just want you to put your guard down and let's be real about it. I speak for the American people, not because of black, white, green, or purple. I'm just saying to you that psychological warfare is putting fear, intimidation into people's heart. They're being brainwashed, persuaded of prisoner wars. You understand what that means? I'm going to put you in a position where you have to surrender, or I'm going to capture you, and you're only going to do what I say do. You're going to eat when I say eat. You're going to talk when I say talk. People, when you're dealing with this administration that we are dealing with now, look what these ICE peoples are doing. They are picking up peoples off the street, and people don't know where their peoples are at. They'll lock them up, and people are getting lost in the shuffle. This is the kind of world, but we're saying we're trying to make America great again. How? When you have the Congress, the Senate, sitting down in the White House, they got fear in them. That's why they cannot speak up for their state. It's the Congress and the Senate, the House of Representatives. You can make a difference if you know how to speak up. But when you've been told, don't you ever go against me, boy, I won't take care of your state. This is the kind of world that we're living in, people. Cyrus the Great, he used psychological tactics to weaken Babylonians. Look in the Bible, and you'll see this. What you call it, the Genghis Khan. He spread a territorial rumor to make enemies surrender without a fight. This is what the mindset of this delusional man that we got running this country. People, are we going to wake up and stop denying it? Is that your family, your children, your friends, your aunts, your uncles are suffering because of this Reuben propaganda. But when your mind is weak and this manipulator got you controlled, no matter what someone say to you, you're not going to believe it. Because that's the mind of this manipulator or con artist, got your mind in check. This is about real talk. Brother, you want to hear it or not. When I say about the American Revolution, let's think about this. Thomas Paine, common sense, boosts morality, and unified colonial. What does that mean? Now, when we talk about that was back then, that's the American Revolution. But let's talk about right now the modern conflicts that we are dealing with under the hands of this new administration. And when I say modern conflicts, they use these radio broadcasters. They trying to buy up all the broadcasts where they can control the mind of their enemy. So I want you to understand, broadcast and social media manipulation, a propaganda campaign they target civilian population. This exactly. When are we going to wake up? Oh, we're not targeting immigrant. Well, why are you picking only stopping peoples of color? No, I don't want y'all to think that we are racist. Well, anything that working under the ICE program, you are racist and you're going to become racist because you are doing exactly what your leader is telling you to do. Beat them up, put them in jail, send them out of the country. We don't have to tell nobody. This is less than humane. And it's going to get worse if we don't speak up. And you know, why does this matter? It does matter because I'm American. I got brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews. I got friends all around me, regardless of their race. I'm going to speak up for those who are unable to speak up for themselves. Why does it matter? Psychological warfare is powerful because people act based on what they believe, not just what they see. It can. I want you to understand that. Let me read that again. People act based on what they believe, not just what they see. It can break the morale. You understand? This is how the administration is trying to break the morale, especially those in minority states, minority countries. We are dealing with a racist administration. Let's admit it. We have never had as many crimes ever before since President Trump got into office. But I want you to be aware of something. When you influence election because of this social media, you done convince the people by broadcasting false information. And people, they begin to shape public opinion based upon these lies that you all are putting out there. I'm talking about real talk. And prevent or provoke conflict. This is the mindset of a psychological warfare of a person who think that he all smarter than anybody in this country. And they strengthen resistance movement. When they find out that you're trying to, they put the military, put the ISIS. That is a form of fear that's going to take place. And in your own community work, understanding these tactics can create fear among most people. Manipulation, that's the objective. Manipulate the mind and divide people, especially in social justice context where narratives shape reality. I just want to say something to the American people. You don't. I want you to please listen to these words because they're never going to change. You better watch what's going on in America. You cannot be caught blindsided by this propaganda and its psychological warfare. This man that you call in the God, this man that we call the president of the United States, watch, look, and listen. My opinion, based on what I see, what I feel, your president is selling the American peoples out right up on our eyes, and we are too blind to see it. I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to take it back. I follow the data. I follow the money trail. President Trump and President Putin are very close friends. If you think that President Trump is going to go against Putin, you are delusional. I just want to give you a history about something. I just need you to think about something. Before he got elected, he was trying to build a Trump Tower in Moscow, in Russia. He developed a friendship with people over there. Okay, and let's look at the falling money now. And again, do you think a lot of money is coming in from Russia to support Trump campaign? I want you to follow the trail. When Trump first went over there, did you know that they had a classified meeting that nobody was allowed in the room? You don't know what was exchanged information. Everything is kept secret, just like it's done today. Okay, we're going to tear up whoever the reporters in there. I want you to tear up everything before we leave. People, there is something behind the scene. Okay? Follow the money trail. Russia tried to help influence the election. Why? Because of who? All right? This man comes to the United States. We giving him a red carpet. People, are you listening? Are you looking? We giving our enemy roll out the red carpet. It's like, man, I'm glad to see you, man. You know, we're going to try to work this out. But, you know, man, you got behind the scene. We can put anything in the public view. Red carpet. I just want you to follow this now. Our enemy is getting treated better than we are as Americans. Do you think that Russia don't know what's going on in the United States? Do you realize that how many secret conversations that Trump had with Putin without nobody knowing about it? That's not a red flag. Do you know that these guys are working together? And I want you to follow this now. Under this Epstein case, follow the money. You got a lot of Russians involved into these cases. Sex cases, young kids, a lot of Russians. Trump used to be over in Russia. In my mind, the reason why that he is not taking action against Russia, because Russia got a hold card, and they don't let me spread this information about you. And you're going to find out that you would never be president. People can't trust. Those guys are working together. But on social media, it makes it look, oh, we can't stand Russia. Everything that Russia doing, if this information is being fed by our United States government. Everything is secret under this Trump administration. Classified secret meeting, supposed to be 47 of them, without the administration is aware of it. I understand that Trump got a secret communication, a private line that Putin and him communicator without the American people's aware of it. I done gave you some examples how you can tie these knots together and understand why we are being sold out under the hand of the American people. And I also want you to please observe, look, listen. President Trump is getting all of his instruction from Vladimir Putin. It is Putin playbook. And we don't know when he came down the United States last time, those two was riding in a limousine, only those two. How do we know what information, a database that was exchanged? But you are so convinced that President Trump is the God of the world. When you put the real God, then you will know that you're dealing with con artists. You deal with racism. You dealing with slavery mindset. I'm talking to all the American people. We are in a psychological warfare right here in the United States under the hands of one man. He done taught all of his administration use a form of fear, form of intimidation. When have you ever in America, you got ISIS or Russia got the same playbook? People, you need to watch everything that's going on in America. Russia is doing the same thing, but how to silence people. They got people over there in fear because the tactic that they use. Now, do you understand what psychological warfare is? Or it's all around us. Racism at its all-time high. If I can go into the black neighborhoods where all the black governors and wherever all the minorities at, those are the ones that we're going to inflict pain on because we want to have them too afraid to come out. You understand? This is the mindset of a mental ill person. Nobody tells him what to do. You do as I say, not as I do. You don't like it, I have you arrested. Anybody that goes against me, you Republican, you are going to pay a price. Because Republican, one thing, whether I'm right or wrong, Republican, you better stick with Republican, whether it's right or wrong. I don't care what you think or what other people think. You better think like the president, or we will not support your state, your city. You notice all the states that he putting damage on. Predominant Democratic state. Racism is a disease until you die. America, we are in trouble. But we got enough of us to not allow the form of intimidation to keep us from doing the American dream. Republicans, Congress, the Senate, and the White House. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid to speak up for your people? Because he got your mind controlled. He doing what you're afraid. You're afraid to risk your position. You got to CYA. You got to cover your ass. This is why you're afraid. The Bible says, fear not. No man. Fearing God is the beginning of salvation. But when a man them inflict fear on you, put a lot of, the main objective is to control your mind, not your body. But when you put God first, lean not to your own understanding. Just trust in me. Believe that I am a God. I am your Lord. I am your Savior. When you start planting these things in your mind and begin to pray, talk to God. Ask him to strengthen wherever you eat. My brothers and sisters, I'm asking you to subscribe, and I want you to please write to my channel, like, dislike, and again, subscribe to my channel. I come on every morning. If you want to come on my show, again, just write me a comment because I'm out. Need to spread the word because those said the Lord, I am going to speak up for those who are unable to speak for themselves. you have freedom of right, freedom of religion, freedom of press. Don't allow this psychological warfare to take that away from you, make you feel like you can't do nothing. All these executive orders are directed to inflict fear. The ISIS, take off your mask. When have you ever known we live in this kind of society? You don't know who's behind the mask. Anybody can walk up to you with an old truck, pick you up, got ICE uniforms on, you disappear. Nobody know where you at. This is how we are dealing with the American dream. You better put God first. Better put God first. I'm going to believe this with you. I'm not a prophet. Everything going to come out in the light. It's going to come out in the light. You're going to find out you've been played by one man. It's about money and power. It's about getting the money secretly. Nobody needs to know about it. It goes into my pocket and the billionaire pocket. Money is the root of all evil, but don't let it control your mind. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. And I'm saying to you, go to the voting booth. Don't allow the form of intimidation to discourage you. To all my brothers and sisters, may God bless you. Until next time, believe in God and knowing that He's going to fight your battle all the time. Bye-bye.